What's up, everybody? Thank you for getting ready to watch my video. And today we're going to be talking about, should I get a dealership? What are the differences between owning a dealership and being a rep for a dealer? Guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, do me a favor, do me a solid, hit the subscribe button. Hopefully you like the content and want to hit the subscribe button. It just helps out. It makes me feel real good about myself, like I'm doing something. Anyway, guys, without further ado, let's get into this video. I appreciate you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys for hitting that subscribe, the like. Even a thumbs down, believe it or not. You give someone a thumbs down, you think you're hurting their channel. It's interaction. Anyway, do what you gotta do. Alright.
That's my best friend. That's my best friend.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Dave Mo Flips. You already know what it is. Back at you with another one. So, the last one we did was a quick Q&A, but it wasn't that quick. Most things with me, long-winded. I try to get as much information as I can out to you guys. I apologize for that. But with that being said, at least I feel confident enough that I've gotten you adequate information. So, a few things that I got going on. I'm not posting as much as I used to. Yes, I'm still buying cars. Yes, we're still selling cars. My house is still fucked up, so we're in the last stages of it. We're still looking for a spot for our own dealership. I hate but anyway, so there's a lot going on in my life aside from this, and like I said to you guys in the beginning, and I hope I'm not insulting anyone or taking anything away from the channel, but I'm not a YouTuber. Excuse me, I'm not a YouTuber, I'm a car sales guy and I got a full-time job. So without further ado, let's just get into this, all right? Let's just get into this. This is a big question, one-shot deal, okay? What is the difference and the benefits of each of being a car rep versus owning a car dealership, okay? So, or you could be a authorized agent, okay, which is also a car rep, which is a different terminology. Anyway, let's just get into it. The biggest thing, let's be honest, let's be totally honest, the biggest on each side, excuse me, a lot of drywall dust in my house got me raspy. So money. Man, can you say it again? Show me the money. You're talking about maybe to be a rep. I've heard people paying $2,000 for the year, which is huge. That's huge in terms of savings, okay? Guys like myself who pay $350 a month, all right? The startup cost, if you go to $2,000 route, it's $2,000 for the year. You're golden. I don't know if they're going to charge you extra for a dealer tag or not. In my honest opinion, to try to buy and sell cars without a dealer tag makes your life that much harder. So, and then, like I said, you got guys like myself who pay $350 a month, which is even less than that, but our startup cost is going to be, let's just say $750, $700, double it up. So you have, and both of these are reps. You have one rep that you could pay $2,000 for the year. If you got it like that, boom, you pay your $2,000. I don't know if that includes a tag or not. Hopefully it does. I don't see it, but hopefully it does. Chances are it's going to be an out-of-state deal. You guys already know I'm not comfortable with out-of-state deals, and we'll revisit that later. Now is not the time. We'll revisit it in this video, I hope. You have the less to get started, the less investment, which is $700, let's just say, and that does include a dealer tag, and you're paying $350 a month, okay? Both of them have per car. Some guys like to charge when you buy the car. In my opinion, that's the nicest. But as for them, because if you buy a piece of junk, it doesn't matter. You're still getting paid your money. I pay $200 a car. The beautiful thing about the way they have it set up where I'm at is they have a dealer fee, but they call it something else, like not a finance charge, a title clerk fee, right? And they charge the $200. So that $200 that I pay per car is already built in. So it's not that $200 for the title clerk plus my $200. No, it's that $200 is built in for the guys. We are responsible for it. If we cannot collect that money for whatever reason, or we negotiate that money out, it doesn't matter. It's already in that paperwork. You can't delete it from the paperwork. So you're paying it one way or another. That being said, the other guys, the out-of-state guys, usually they're going to want their money when you buy the car. Again, there's exceptions to every rule, so keep that in mind. That's that. So that's the money aspect of being a rep. On the other side, if you want to open up your own dealership, and this is going to sound bad, but there's positives, okay? If you were lucky enough, and again, every state is different, so I'm only referring to Florida. In Florida, you're going to spend, I showed you guys, that one property was $3,500, okay? Then he dropped it down to $3,000. So at $3,000, now this is just $3,000, not including commercial tax, which is a thing here in Florida. If you're renting a building, you still pay tax on the rent, believe it or not. I don't know how it is in your states, but in Florida you do. So let's just say it's $3,000. He wanted first, last, and security. So that's $9,000 right from Jump Street. So that's $9,000 right from Jump Street. $9,000, all right? Plus the insurance. So I think the insurance was like $1,500 down. Plus it was like $300 a month, okay? So let's just go with the down payment to get started. So you're at 10.5, okay? The bond is credit based, all right? I was able to locate a bond for $25,000, the requirement here in Florida, for $300, okay? But let's just say $500 for simple math, all right? So we're at $11,000. This is before I turn on the electricity, before the water gets turned on. Water here, water and electric here water is $175 deposit regardless of your credit, just $175. So right off the bat, you're at $11,625. And the electricity, what they do is they take the person before you, average it all up, and that's your deposit for the for electricity here in Florida. It's kind of shitty, but it is what it is, you know. So let's just say on a dealership, you're probably going to be spending roughly, you know, $200 a month, right? So you're already at, let's just say, what did we say? We were at 11. Let's just say 11.5. Fuck it, say 11.5. You're at 11.5. I mean 10.5. Yeah, 11.5 is fine. Oh fuck it, let's say 11,000. You're at $11,000 before you even buy your first car. Okay, so there's a huge difference there. You can spend $11,000 and have your own car dealership with no inventory, or you could spend, let's just go with my deal, let's not worry about the $2,000 a year deal, or you could spend $700 and be ready to buy cars. So when you subtract $700 from the 11.5, you still have $10,700, okay? No, I'm sorry, $10,800. You still have $10,800 to buy inventory, all right? That's huge. That's huge. Even if you're a guy who buys $10,000 cars, you're buying one car, or a girl, right? But if you're a dollar menu person, similar to myself, you're buying, you know, shit. Fuck, you can walk away with 8 cars. Day one. Day one, you have auction access and 8 cars up for sale. You're already making money. Depending how deep your pockets are with the car dealership, you know, you have to figure out where you're gonna go with it, you know? But that's just money, okay? The second thing that you need to worry about is who are you doing business with? Because at any given time, if you're repping, the owner of that dealership decides, fuck you, you're out, and you don't have nothing written, and because those cars are all bought and owned by the car dealership. Even though you're buying them, you're a dealer rep, which means you're buying them on behalf of the car dealership. Even though you know you're buying them for yourself. That car dealer could say, fuck you, you're out, keep your cars, end of the story. You're going to go to court, okay? And you're going to try to fight it in court. It's going to cost you more money, time, all kinds of shit. You get into some gangster shit, and you can see this motherfucker when he's out eating dinner with his family and, you know, tune his ass up, but that's still not going to get your cars back, and probably you'll catch a charge. You know, it all depends how you want to carry it. You can get into some other real diabolical shit and, you know, wait till he's alone in the office and get them titles. But let's not go there. Let's just say you're a law-abiding citizen. This guy fucks you. You're going to go to court. Time, money, and it just fucking sucks. And then you still might not be able to get your cars because, technically speaking, you bought them on behalf of the dealership, right? Even though you have receipts and everything else, the law is you're a dealer rep. You don't own a piece of the dealership. You're an employee of theirs, so to speak, okay? Owning your own dealership, you don't have to worry about any of that shit. You go, you buy cars, they're your cars. No one's going to take those cars from you. No one will take those cars from you. They're yours. You don't have to worry about stuff like that, okay? So that's a huge thing. For me, that I'm comfortable where I am now, but, you know, getting into the game, that was a huge thing for me. I know how I'm going to handle mine, but at the end of the day, it probably wouldn't have been good regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like, no outcome from gangster shit to fucking going to court is a good outcome. It's better just to do business the right way. And if someone doesn't want to do it, you know, you got to do what you got to do and whatever. Luckily enough for me, I've been blessed where, you know, I trust this motherfucker and shit is good. So that's, I think, a plus for owning the dealership. You don't have to deal with that, okay? Here's another situation. When you get checks, okay, so far we went over the money and then the risk, okay? Here's one other one for risks. God forbid your car is on a test drive. You're driving the car. But I guess that's the only really two scenarios. And someone crashes. The person they hit, let's be honest, we are in a suing society. People love to sue. The benefit of not owning your own dealership means that they can't sue you. Yes, they could sue you. I could sue you right now for watching my video because the law is that crazy. But hear me out. Chances are the dealership's going to have a larger insurance policy than you will, right? The car is not even your car, it's the dealership's car. So, with all that being said, this is working in your favor as an individual. So the attorney for the suing party is going to always want to go after the person who has more insurance, will be the dealership. So you could potentially allow them to sue the dealership. By the time the dealership knows that they're going to get sued and everything else, and again, this is on some scumbag type shit, but this is the way it is. You can off all your cars. You can jump ship and hook up with another dealer and say, hey, I'm just going to pay $200 a car and have the titles put from this dealership's name to the other dealership. They'll deal with the lawsuit themselves, and whatever comes, you just walk the fuck away and get something else, right? So the liability is not yours. When you own your own dealership, and that happens, God forbid, they're going to sue you. And then they're going to start looking, even with the LLCs, guys, don't be a fool here. A lot of people are like, oh, well, I'm LLC, so I'm protected. It kind of depends the money they spent on their lawyer, to be honest with you. Because I know someone that did have an LLC, and it did kind of go into their personal stuff, okay? It was a big, you know, multi-dollar, lawsuit. The attorney for the suing party was a big wig. It wasn't no fucking Morgan and Morgan type shit. It was real deal shit. And that's just what it is. So a lot of people think because you have the LLC that you're immune or protected by all this other stuff. I don't want to say 100%. You know, I think you're more protected, but if that suing party's attorney is better than your attorney or the insurance attorney, they're gonna get into some shit. You know, and the more you own as an individual, the more you have at risk. So, with that being said, liability is an issue, right? So, back on track. Actually, let me take this. Someone's trying to get a hold of me. All right, guys. Sorry about that. It wasn't that important. So, what do we go over? Money, liability, risk. Another big one. Let's talk about this. Someone does a credit card payment. They don't Zelle you. They don't Cash App you. They don't Venmo you. They actually swipe a credit card through the merchant account that the dealer has set up, okay? So they swipe that card, you sell the car, you have to wait on the dealer to cut you a check, all right, for that money. So you're on their timeline here, you know. I just fucked up, I'm not gonna lie to you. One of the cars that I sold, because of what's going on at my house, you know, I'm not really at the car dealership. I'm doing this, is that, the third. So there was a bunch of cars that had gotten sold on credit cards or debit, whatever. And the way it works is, and this is like on some real unorganized type shit. You run the card and you staple the receipt to the card to the deal, and you submit the deal. And you write down, you know, okay, XYZ dollar amount for this car, whatever it is. So yesterday we sat down and ate breakfast, and I was getting my money, and I was like, okay, I got this car, this car, this car, this car. And checks. And the guy goes, well, I only have these two cars. You find me the third one, and I will write you the check. No problem. Okay. Well, when I went back to the dealership, I went through all the deals. I found the deal that I was talking about, and the receipt for the credit card is gone. All right. So the way it's worked out and the way it's explained is, you know, take pictures of it, send this way you have it, of the receipts, take pictures of the deals. I'm not the one in the dealership right now. I have someone who handles this for me. They weren't aware of this in the beginning. It wasn't explained to them. I don't know why I feel like this is too low. Let's now get some sun there. So, anyway, too high. I can't figure this shit out. I don't like it. Anyway, so long story longer. I got my 2 checks. Went to the dealership. I couldn't find the receipt. Now I'm shit out of luck. You know, there's nothing I could do because the owner of the dealership's not going to go through all his transactions looking for a transaction for you, even though he could, you know. And I trust this guy, like I said, but this is just the rules of the business. You know, he could have something in place where it's like, look, if you don't have the proof and you make me go through my stuff because you believe that it's in there, I'm going to charge you $100. I'm going to charge you $200. There's going to be a fee. Whether or not I find it, it's a fee. That's just what it is. But he doesn't have that in place. You don't have a copy of, if that receipt is not stapled to the deal and you can't produce it, like with a photo or something like that, it never took place. It never happened. So, you know, at this point right now, it looks like I'm getting fucked on that car. It sucks. I hate it. Lesson learned. As a car owner, You own your own dealership, you don't have to worry about any of that shit. You don't have to worry about it. You sell a car, you go through, like, I'm a guy who goes through my bank accounts every single day. I look to see if there's any fraudulent activity. I look to see what I spent the day before. Like, as you guys know, I have QuickBooks, so all my receipts are in there. I'm very, very meticulous down to the penny as to what I'm spending. It's just been my experience that if you're not like that with money, you're probably fucking up a lot of shit in your life. Money, to me, should be the number one. Now, I'm not comparing that to family or anything like that. I'm just saying in your life, money needs to be up there, at least in mine. So, yeah, so that's the situation I'm going through right now. Chances are I'm going to be deaded on that money. It's a deal that I knew about in the beginning. It's my fault. I fucked up. Accountability is a big thing in my life. If I fuck up, I own it, all right? I fucked up. It'll never happen again. It'll never happen again, all right? But there's nothing I can do. I'm not going to tell the guy who sells cars for me, oh, you owe me XYZ because you lost the receipt. I'm not going to argue with the owner of the place because he set his rules in the beginning, all right? So if he didn't say this in the beginning, then I would argue with him. But he said it in the beginning, so I knew it. You see what I'm saying? I'm a big believer in accountability. You know, I think that's a problem with the world today. These kids are just not held accountable. And you need to start at a young age so when they become adults, they're not out here robbing fucking... So when they become adults, they're not out here robbing fucking stores for the fuck they want to get and then end up in jail like, what the fuck, I didn't know something was going to happen. Nah, that's not how I was raised, and that's not how, you know what I'm saying? And that's not how I'm living. So I'll take this one on the chin, and it'll never happen again. As an owner, you don't have to deal with this. You have nothing to deal with that. You know what I mean? Another thing, rep versus owning your own dealership. You have no say-so in what goes on at that dealership as a rep. You might be able to put in your advice, right? Like we have a situation where if you watched one of the other videos where I showed you the lot, it looked like shit. It's a huge lot. It looks like shit. The grass isn't mowed. Cars don't have prices or years. Garbage. It's just, you know, not what you would think a dealership should be. I could go there and fix all the cars, which I've done before, and pick up the garbage and mow the lawn and do all this other stuff. I could do that. I'm the rep. I'm not the owner. The owner's the one who should be handling those day-to-day activities. If they don't want to, then hire a manager. You know, hire a manager and say, hey, listen, you know, you don't have to pay no monthly fees, and when you sell cars, you only got to pay half. Or you don't have to pay anything at all to sell your cars here. But what you need to do is make sure the lawn gets cut, make sure that there's no garbage in the lot, make sure the lot always looks good, handle deals, deal with customer service like you are the manager of the lot. And depending on how many cars you sell and how you know, your monthly fee will determine how much you're getting paid that month. You know what I mean? Like if you only sell 2 cars and your monthly fee is $350, you only made $750 for the month. But now if you sold 10 cars or 20 cars at $200, you know, you just made your $350 plus $2,000 on 10 cars. So again, it all depends, but that's not, you know, anyone's concern but yours and the owners. So with that being said, an owner, you get to do whatever the fuck you want at your lot. That's the beautiful thing. You can be that guy that shows up at 7 o'clock in the morning, straps on a backpack blower, blows out his lot every day so there's no sand. You know, you could be the owner who hires one of these guys that come here with that, I don't want to say purified water, but there's water so it doesn't leave rain spots on it. And they'll come every 3 days and they'll do every car in the lot and they'll charge you $3 a car. Because all they're doing is blowing it off with this water, and it takes the dust off the car and then it dries so it doesn't leave streaks or anything like that. You can do that. You can have all the Hondas on one side, all the Toyotas on the other side, and all the Chevys in the middle. You can do that. You can do whatever you want because you're the owner. You don't have to ask no one for anything. You can have fucking a guy in the back selling hot dogs for all you care. You could have a detail guy on the side selling detailing. You could have a fucking florist selling flowers. It's your lot. You can do whatever you want. That is a huge, huge, huge thing to consider when you're ready to be a rep. Because when you're ready to be a rep, you give up all that control, if you will. All right? Because you can't change someone's lot. I mean, you could. I could go out there and I could pick up the garbage. I could fix the cars the way I want them, per se. Except you can't have all your cars on the front line, right? I can mow the lawn. I can do all that stuff. But you have to understand that I'm doing it all because I want to do it. I'm doing it because I want to. You feel me? That means that everyone at the lot is coming up because of the work I put in. That's not fair and it's not cool. If one person's gonna do it, we need to get everyone included. Everyone can do it. Just move your cars. I'll move my cars, and we'll collectively pick up the trash. But the problem is, a lot of people don't want to do shit because they look at it like, this ain't my lot, and they're right. I'm sorry to say that it's not their lot. It's not their responsibility. You know, one of the things I love to tell people is, don't make your problems my problems. You know, you got problems, they're yours. I got problems, they're mine. Your problems do not become my problems. Mine do not become yours. So that's a big thing too. The next thing is going to be, really, I kind of really feel like we touched on all the majors. You know what I mean? The people, okay? You own your car dealership. Even if you have reps, you get to pick and choose who's going to rep for your company, okay? You set your fees and do everything like that. If you're a rep for someone else, you might not like 4 of the guys that are there, okay? These guys could be stealing batteries from your cars, which has happened to me. I know the battery was good one day, the next day the battery's not starting the car anymore. Well, how is that possible? I just paid for this battery. Well, because throughout the night, someone went in there and switched my battery with theirs. This shit happens. Never found out. No one's ever going to admit to it. I'm not going to open... how do you tell one Exide battery from the next? You know what I mean? I'm not going to open everyone's hood and start looking. I've had an IAC stolen, idle air control valve stolen from one of my cars. I'm trying to get the sun out of your eyes, guys. Sorry. I think I made it so much worse. So, you know, and this stuff happens, man. This stuff happens because you don't know who these guys are. You don't know them from a hole in the wall, and if you're not, you don't know who these guys are. You don't know them from a hole in the wall, and if you're not part of the crew or the clique or you're not down with them, it's just the way it is. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way it is. Like at where I'm at now. Well, here, let me say this. So owning your own dealership, you get to pick and choose who's there. Being part of another guy's dealership, you have no control over who's there. Let me say this before I go any further. I'm the furthest guy from a racist. I could give a fuck what the fuck you are, okay? Just don't fuck with me or mine. That being said, there's a group of Middle Eastern gentlemen that rep for this guy. They are some of the coolest guys, all right? We get along fabulously. We bullshit, we joke around, blah, 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 blah. Life is good, okay? There are also times that I'm sitting in the office and they start speaking their language, all right? Being Middle Eastern, I don't exactly know what dialect it is that they're speaking, but I know it's not English. To me, that's suspect, all right? To me, you're choosing to speak your language because you don't want people that don't understand it to know what it is you're saying. So that's suspect to me. As far as I'm concerned, you're plotting, you're scheming, you're doing something that's not good because you don't want other people to know. I could be totally wrong. They could be talking about their lunch order for the fuck I know. You know, but I know I can only speak English, but let's just say I was able to speak Spanish, and you know, I got 3 guys with me and we're all reps, and you can only speak English, okay? And you and these 3 guys and myself, we all talk together, we communicate in English, no problem. But then every now and again, you'll be in the office and we'll be talking English, and then the conversation gets diverted to Spanish, where now you're not in the conversation, it's just me and these 3 guys. You're gonna feel like, well, wait, I know they can speak English. They're obviously not speaking English because they're talking about something that they don't want me to know about. That is something you'll have to deal with if they have that situation at that car dealership. So it makes you feel some kind of way, and that's just what it is. With that being said, guys, you already know I'm looking for my own dealership. So for me, repping for someone else was a great stepping stone. I wish they had financing. I wish I could do buy here, pay here, there. I wish the owner was more hands-on and didn't let a lot of the guys do what they do. But he's not. I can't change him. I'm just a rep. He doesn't have the financing. I can't do buy here, pay here. These are all things that I want to do. And ultimately, at the end of the day, I think owning your own dealership should give you a sense of pride. I do. I think once your name is on something, you should have pride. It's yours. You've worked for it. You can get reps in there. You could get whoever you want to be in there. You don't have to do reps. There's a lot of different ways to make money when you have a dealership, and you're making calls. Yes, it's a little bit more money. Yes, you're responsible for more. Yes, I could have found a spot that was a lot cheaper. I could have got a warehouse for $650. It would have been $1,300 up front. They didn't need first and last. They just needed first and security. I chose not to do that because the amount of cars I could have there was very small. So there's different ways of doing it. And with that being said, guys, do your best, make your money. I'm out of here. Have a good one. Later.
That's my best friend.